the hologram. We've unlocked our library hidden deep within the matrix and are ready to take you on a tour of the cosmos. Come in as we discuss everything from spirituality, psychics, healers, ghosts, as well as UFOs, and the unknown. It's time to forget what you think you know and explore life in the hologram.
Well, there it went. Good evening and welcome to Life in the Hologram. It is 11/29/2024, and it's a good something somewhere in the universe. It's Madeline Rudy tonight and Caroline Bell Tumblety on Revolution Radio, Life in the Hologram. And happy belated Thanksgiving, and I hope you're having a great Black Friday.
Yeah.
And
spend your money.
we have a little card here today, and it says Heart Awakening. Breathe into the heart. The heart knows inner illumination.
Ooh, I like that. Illumination.
So were you celebrating Thanksgiving?
Well, Willow's American. I class myself as I'm a Scottish American. Like, no, my heart's in America, Madeline. Like, we do Thanksgiving, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I sit wishing everybody in America Thanksgiving, you know? It's like, oh, happy Thanksgiving.
Now, well, I guess you do have turkeys over there.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Is it as big as a process as it is here?
Well, no.
Or not so much?
We don't really celebrate the Thanksgiving, but me and Willow, we kind of made a special, like, we kind of just made, I actually made, like, chicken and rice soup, and we had, like, we acknowledged that it was Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But Christmas time, like, it's the same, like, turkey, like, ham. I think we're going to do ham this year. We're going to do, like, honey mustard and ham. It's just me and Willow, you know?
Yeah. No, I understand that, but I'm thinking, is there something special that you would eat that would be Scottish?
That I would eat
the holiday.
Scottish. I make my own stuffing. That's no anything like what's made over there. You know, I always have made my own stuffing. Yeah. I like my bacon and my sausage, but I always have to have two types of sausage. You know, I have to go to the butchers and get them because they're filled with like spices and stuff. Yeah. I have certain things that, like, we have something, Madeline. We have Hogmanay, which is the 31st December, New Year's Eve. We call it Hogmanay, and we also have another name for it that's called the Reddening, which means on that day we will clean our houses top to bottom. I mean, everything, like plates, dishes, the whole bit. And that night we will all shower, get on our best whatevers, and we will sit down to steak pie, potatoes, like we will have drink and all kinds of food, but steak pie is like the main. We like roast potatoes and mashed potatoes and Brussels sprouts and broccoli, and we eat that at midnight, and that comes from an old tradition. Like, you pay all your debts back on the 31st, like you start the year with debt free. You start with the way that you want the year to continue, which is food in your belly, wearing good clothes, clean.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that's the one tradition that I have always maintained. Every year, me and Willow. And I get her to stand up on the couch and we wait until midnight and then we jump down into the new year.
I never heard of that.
Yeah, they do it in other European countries and stuff. Yeah. But we have a fantastic guest that Madeline has interviewed a few times, but this is my first time meeting Bubba, and I'm really excited. because I know I'm just going to sit here with a smile on my face because his energy is so cool. And here we go. Bubba Dumbass entered this world to explore many levels of the human experience. His entry point started in the state of Texas after many challenges, conquered, and after dying numerous times. The 23 what he settled in the state of California on 10 acres of land. This is where his physical body became his sole focus and mastery. Bubba studied under the scientist Masaru. Oh, I'm not pronouncing that right. Emoto. I know who it is. This was when the unfoldment took place and a higher understanding of the human power and its relations to water. Bubba collected the old paradigm knowledge and moved it into a higher level of understanding, bringing this consciousness and the effects with water to a new paradigm for us to partake in. In other words, he created a simplistic way for our understanding, an important factor in the shift of self. Bubba took Emoto's concepts and teachings a step further. He wants to show you how you can talk to the water within you by using the words and music, a discovery of a powerful tool that has always existed within each and every one of us. After the 6 experiences of death, Bubba has a newfound understanding of life and our ability to create a new life within us. He holds a level of appreciation for all living things, mainly for trees and the earth. His purpose will be in his shared words onto the world and why our relationships with it is important to our lasting lives. Bubba is one of 2 people that have grown his fingers' digits back after having them cut off. Not only will he share his secrets on how, he will show you the power you hold within yourself by examples and most of all with love. And a big welcome to Bubba.
Welcome, Bubba.
May I go through my spiel?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Please allow the energy that we be to go exist and commingle with all other energies in a flow. Please allow the highest vibrating beings to dictate that flow. Please allow the words that come from us be the perfect words for every interaction, and allow those words to be in the perfect vibration, frequency, and tone for all living things to understand. Thank you.
Thank you.
You have just, we have synchronized our energy, and those listening and those that will listen to the later broadcast will also synchronize their energies to where they'll have a clarity that they don't normally have.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I like that.
I used words to cast a spell. We're surrounded in this womb of water. We call it humidity, but we're in a bubble of water. We cannot escape this bubble. Even when you pass out of this physical vessel, you can't escape this bubble. It's a funny thing that everybody discounts this little thing called water, and 70% of all of this is water. Even that thing you live in and you call a body. That's the hardest concept for most people to grasp. Oh, it's just water. Is it? This is why they took the ether out of the periodic table. They didn't know where to label it as, air or water. They couldn't put a label on it. When the ancients called it the ether. It's everywhere. Nothing that we see, be the stars in the sky, the sun, blah, 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 blah. It's all in a pool of water. It's all just frequencies moving through water. Hold it a different concept. There's a lady out there now named Veda Austin, Veda Austin, and she's literally doing flash freezing on water after exposing it to pictures, after exposing it to songs, after exposing it to conversations, and it freezes that image. It shows that image or those words or that music in the water. And it takes her a minute or two to do this.
That's amazing.
Yeah, is she reflecting them on the water? Like, how is she doing that?
She speaks to the water, or somebody touches the water, or whatever, and then she just picks it up in this plastic petri dish and puts it in a freezer. And she pulls it out and takes a picture of it with her iPhone. That's how fast it's showing up. When it shows that little skim of ice, it shows the picture of the embodiment that's in that water.
Yeah.
Did you try it, Bubba?
What she's doing with the iPhone, I can see with my eyes. Like you dip a rose in water, and then I can see the essence of that rose in the water. Now, this started 20, 25 years ago, and it freaked me out when it first started.
In a good way or a bad way?
Well, I was driving in traffic, and it disappeared. Yeah.
The traffic disappeared?
In rush hour, and everything disappeared. Everything disappeared for a few seconds, and then it blipped back in. And then I drive again, and it blips out, and it's like I'm in a desert, and there's no city there. And then it blips back in, and I'm driving in Las Vegas traffic. That's when it first appeared. I had to pull over and kind of get my act together for about 10 minutes. I thought maybe I was drunk or something, and I hadn't drinking anything.
That would be disconcerting, I would think, you know?
Yeah, and that's like when I first started seeing the greed in people's hearts. It freaked me out. Yeah. When these things pop in on you, most people get scared and they just shove it to the back door. I'm too curious for that. It's all about the questions. Things you don't know or you don't think you know. If you ask the question out loud and then just move along doing something else, that answer will come in. How's it do it? You ask the question and the water is assisting in presenting it to you. Omnipresence. There's nowhere you can go to escape the water. Nowhere.
I love water.
Kirlian photography shows you that even when you amputate a digit, the essence of it is still there. So you got to see in your mind. And I learned this from a Russian hypnotist. Russian hypnotist was taking people in their late 60s and 70s that had surgical amputations of organs. And he was hypnotizing them, and they were regrowing them. He didn't do nothing but hypnotize that person. And that body, after he hypnotized it and put the suggestions in, that body regrew the organs. Of course, they've scrubbed all his information from the internet.
Yeah. I think this stuff is possible, and I think they have been doing it like a day. Like, I think we are miraculous. Like, we haven't even really scratched the surface.
Well, absolutely.
If you read and study the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, they all say the same thing. We're capable, more capable than the beings that came here and altered our DNA. And if you think, like I've been shown, that the Sasquatch, the great hairy beings, that they took the essence from and then put the essence of the beings from wherever they came from together and created us, well, there's going to be some magical stuff there that you don't want, that nobody wants you to know you have. They don't want you to know your power. So when Rockefeller took over the education system in the teens and 20s of the 1900s, then all of the breakthrough technologies of colors making you healthy and using light to destroy illness All of that stuff disappeared. And then Wilhelm Reich come up with the orgone accumulator in the 50s. And because you could sit in it for 10, 12 minutes a day and it would heal you, and there's nothing in there except what it's drawing in from the ether. No power, no nothing. It's just got to be built in those layers. And you can heal from all kinds of things, from mental disorders to physical disorders. They don't want people to know these things because the medical industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Isn't that the holy truth?
For most of them guys, if they're wearing white coats, they're just glorified drug dealers.
Yeah. Drug pushers. Yep. Dealers.
So, we're all capable of way more, and our worship of fear keeps it in check. More people look for things to be afraid of than for things to be positive around them. They're always looking for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah.
What if there is no other shoe? What if your worry, your thoughts about this falling apart is what creates the fall apart?
That makes sense.
This is why all of the ancients say, keep your childlike exuberance. Okay? And all I do is wonder. I wonder all kinds of things.
Me too.
So instead of just wondering it for a second, I'll ask that question out loud, and then I'll forget about it and go on to the next subject. And the next thing you know, this information's coming in like blah, 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 blah. I've even gone so far as to leave the phone sitting here on the counter, ask a question, walk outside, go feed the animals, do whatever I'm going to do, and come back, and there's a website pulled up. I did not pull that website up, but it had the answer I was looking for.
Well, now I want to go back. You were talking about Bigfoot, and this, I got this from Mary Joyce the other day. DNA testing reveals Bigfoot is half human.
No, we're half Bigfoot.
No, whatever.
All right, think about this now for a moment. Everything that is supposed to be on this planet has a protective system from the elements built in. Where's your built-in protection elements? We are the foreigners here. Homo sapien sapien is the foreigner here. We are literally an alien offshoot of natural inhabitants of this planet. We have great powers and great ignorance to go along with it.
Do you think there's multiple species here? Or do you think that we're all like what you're saying, like half Bigfoot and half something else?
Well, what if these beings were multi-species when they came here and started monkeying with DNA?
Well, DNA is easy to monkey with. It's not it's everywhere for one.
Look, humans have been monkeying with DNA since the 20s.
Ever.
Yeah.
And they've been doing it in a subversive way, usually through diet. Because if you'll look at you and you're part of nature, and you go down and you buy a weed killer and it kills that weed, well, you're just a plant without roots. That crap's going to kill you too. It just depends on how much dosage it takes. It's like anything. If we do it in excess, it's going to make us shut down, and it does it from the inside out. So the more clean your diet, the more of you can open up, but it takes a lot of introspective analyzing about what you believe, because what you believe is exactly what you're going to get. Why do I believe that? Who gave me that belief? Is it true? Is it a fairy tale? Is it a myth? These are all questions I ask myself. And I've been doing this for decades. After I died the last time, my whole paradigm of a world shifted 180 degrees.
And how did you almost die? Or how did you die?
That time from an overdose, from stuff the doctors were giving me for pain and alcohol.
Mm.
Yeah,
I had 7 herniated discs, 3 bulging discs, and 2 discs that were frozen in my back. And they were giving me all kinds of painkillers to kill the pain from that. And a little alcohol on top of it, it situated, and I croaked. I woke up in a hospital on June the 26th of 1994. And that's when I heard a voice that said, "You're not finished here yet." The light came on in the room, the little door clanged, and the nurse says, "You're still with us." And since then, it's been a journey.
And then what happened to all your bulging discs? And
Yeah.
I've healed all those. Took me 2 years.
And what was that procedure?
I could sit down and see it healed and feel it healing. I looked at a spine, what a healthy spine was supposed to look like. And I started going through my vertebrae one by one to look at that. And it took 2 years for it to do that.
Was this something you taught
Literally.
yourself, or was this like an ancient tradition? Like
Look, the Chinese are getting monks together 3 at a time and curing cancer in front of the machines that can look at it.
Yeah, by
Greg Braden
sound
brought a video
frequency.
to surface about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
May have been 4 years now. We're brought this video out of China where 3 monks were praying over someone and watched the cancer just literally disappear and took minutes.
Yeah.
So where 2 or 3 or more are gathered, some great shifts can happen if you believe in you and the powers that you possess, even though you don't know you possess them.
Yeah.
Confidence and courage is the key. Not against confidence and courage.
Yeah, you
Because
can't have.
if you're telling yourself, "Oh, poor me, I cut my finger off," instead of saying, "My finger's not cut off, it's regrowing." We have a reptile brain, folks. We have a reptile brain. What are reptiles known for? Regrowing their limbs.
That's right.
Well, that's like when they diagnosed me with cancer. I said, "You're crazy. I don't have cancer."
Yeah, you're the right answer.
I told that to the doctor, and she's in denial.
I got a buddy of mine that's been diagnosed with cancer, and I brought him a whole jar of turkey tail mushroom capsules. And I said, "Time you eat all of these 3 or 4 a day, you won't have any diseases left in you." And the doctors asked him what he was doing. He says mushrooms. He didn't tell them what kind. And, he's got a clean bill of health. And he's like me. All he does is turkey tail mushrooms and talk to his water.
That's beautiful.
Well, Madeline, I gave you that trick the other day about the Ho'oponopono prayer and a quart of water. And you take that and you put it in that water. You put that prayer in that water just by sitting it on top of it takes seconds. And that's if you'll read the story about the Ho'oponopono prayer and the insane asylum that got cleaned out by one doctor that never saw a patient, it makes you understand the power of your spoken word. And And most discount it. They're just rattling crap to be rattling crap.
Mm-hmm.
Every word is a spell. Every one of them. If I'm speaking bad of someone else, I might as well be asking for that myself, because I'm going to get it before they will.
Yeah.
So I wish everybody the best. I want your dreams to come true for you. Truly, I want your dreams to happen for you. If it's part of your lesson plan here in this existence this time around, it's going to happen. But you won't like the delivery service usually. Because I'm a creator. I'm here to create. Nothing about this vessel has UPS, FedEx, US Mail, whatever delivery service is. I create. It's delivered when it's ready to be delivered. I don't have to do any of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a creator. I create. Most folks are creating the turmoil in their lives by holding on to beliefs, not trusting themselves, definitely not listening to their intuition. So they're creating their life around falsehoods.
Mm.
I read a study the other day. Plants know when you're within 2 kilometers of them. Your house plants know when you're coming home. Your pets know when you're coming home up to 30 minutes before you get there.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing.
We have that same ability.
Yeah, it's amazing. All this is amazing. I mean, yeah, like I know my plants know me. You know, my cat is at the door when I'm coming home. I don't know how long he's been there. Probably 30 minutes.
Yeah,
So,
I watched the dogs, my son's dogs. They know, like, before he comes home.
You know.
And then they see his car coming up the road.
Do they go crazy?
Yeah, then they go to the door and sit and wait.
Mm. Okay.
See, we all have this ability. You probably thought of somebody's name in your mind, and a few minutes later, you get a phone call from them.
Yep.
How often does that happen?
Often.
Well, when my son was
about calling you.
Yeah, when my son was in the Navy, if I wanted to talk to him, then I would think about him, and then he would call me.
It's beautiful. I love this. Yeah.
See, we all have these innate abilities. They're innate.
Mm-hmm.
We all have them. Nobody pays attention to them. Especially since they handed these personal prisons to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that the holy truth?
So, you know, and knowing the way they're designed, and they're designed for mind control, just like the TV set. Well, how do you kind of put a quietus to that? It's called blue blocker glasses. You'll stop having as many headaches if you use blue blocker glasses to look at those screens, the computers and the phones and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're very harsh on the eyes.
Well, your eyes are your window to the world.
Mm-hmm.
They're your projectors. They're literally, whatever you believe, your projectors are going to make sure you see that.
So we want to be careful. Yeah, we want to be careful what we're projecting, right? We want to be clear on what we're projecting.
And this is what I tell everybody, you know, and it's so simple. The only reaction I ever need for anything is thank you.
Mm.
Thank you. Now, both of you say thank you 3 times out loud, real fast.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Now, how do you feel?
Thank you.
You feel like thank you?
Yeah, I feel grateful. Yeah.
Both of you just got a burst of energy.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Masaru Emoto proved without a shadow of a doubt, thank you or gratitude in any language turns water pure. It crystallizes it in such a way that you will feel better immediately. But most don't do that. They'll stand up and curse or do this or do that. All I do is for anything is thank you. It's a lesson. I'm here to learn lessons. That's this whole life is about a lesson. They're all soul lessons or spirit lessons, however you want to say it. It's for our evolution to be a higher being, to live in a different realm. This realm of duality is the densest realm to be in. It is also the ultimate school. So once you become the consummate observer, I don't have to interfere with any of it. I just have to observe it. I don't have to put my judgments on it. I just observe it. Because when you're sitting down and you're quiet, you're not just using your eyes to observe with. Every hair on your body is an antenna feeding information in. So this thing in the dark, your brain can process it through the heart, and you have an appreciation for all of it. It's really simple. It really is. And people like to overcomplicate it to feed their ego, but it's really, really simple. Understand, nothing, absolutely nothing moves in a straight line. Nothing.
There's a whole lot of meandering.
Nothing moves in a straight line.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of meandering.
Yeah. I'm just saying, you know, to go from point A to point B in a straight line, that's unnatural. It really is. It's unnatural. And even having thoughts that are in a straight line takes great focus. Because this thought may tie into that next thought, into that next thought. And then you got to ask yourself, are these thoughts I'm entertaining even worth entertaining? Do these entertainment thoughts needed emotion? No. Because emotion is energy in motion. And what is thank you? It's gratitude. That is energy in motion. I'm grateful for this. There's a lesson in it. And I'm going to move through it faster because I'm grateful for the lesson.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really, really, really simple.
And
not everybody.
Yeah.
Not everybody likes simple.
Oh no, we complicate everything. Yeah.
That's ego.
Yeah.
That's your narcissistic ego thinking it has control.
Right.
And the more you think you have control, the more out of control you are.
Yep, been there.
I witness it every day. I talk to people that are this way every day. They're out of control. They're listening to ego instead of heart.
Well, is that no, like, when you were talking earlier, like the 1900s, there was a shift, right? Like, they shifted, like, away.
It was a created shift, a false shift.
Right.
Okay, and according to the native elders that I get to speak with, this grand shift that we're all in now started in 1940s. Either 44 or 48. I can't remember the last day. And they say it'll take 80 to 100 years to completely get through this transformational shift. And literally, it's an expansionary shift. Literally, it's an expansionary shift. As Cliff High says, we're out from underneath the Kali Yuga. We are now on the uphill side of the galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy, which means we're getting more emanations from the central sun, the central point of the universe, if there is such a thing. So anything low vibrating, the farther we go into this, the more they're going to stir up a fuss and then fall away. So the biggest thing is to raise your frequency, and the easiest way to do that is to be in gratitude.
Thank you.
Gratitude or orgasm, it's your choice.
There you go.
And me, I'm grateful if I get to have an orgasm. That's the two highest vibrating spaces in the human anatomy. The highest vibrating spaces.
There you go.
Yep.
Well, you think about this now. You're both females, I'm assuming from the energy that you're putting off, and a female orgasm. Now, this vessel that you're in is a portal that brings in new life. All females bring in new life. Therefore, their orgasms are much more powerful than any males, because you are a portal to the other side. Once a male has an orgasm, he has to lay down and sleep for a while. And once a female has an orgasm, she gets up and cleans the house and cooks a 5-course meal.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, you go again.
So if you think that is not a high vibration, you're crazier than I am.
we never said it wasn't.
Right. Yeah.
And all mine is just study, just research, look for it. Let's see where we got to go to flow in this. And this is why I always ask to be in the flow. Always ask to be in the flow with the highest vibrating beings dictating that flow. Therefore, it's easier for me to find things to be grateful for. See, I go to Walmart a couple times a month just for contrast. Amusement, entertainment.
Yes, it's a place to behold.
No, I can't take Walmart. You know, no, can't take it. I can't.
Well,
Like,
you're looking at it. You're not emitting your own energy. You're very empathic. So therefore, you're receiving all of this, and you haven't learned to say thank you and put that bubble of gratitude around you. Now, let me tell you what's going to happen when you do. The moment you master that about you, people are literally going to leave their buggies full of stuff and leave. Or they will avoid you going down the aisles like you're the plague. And it's got nothing to do with you except you're walking in your bubble of gratitude.
yeah, I have to remember that. But I don't go to Walmart.
I don't.
It's my source of contrast.
Say that again. Sorry.
It's his source of contrast.
Oh, okay.
What happens to me is I can go somewhere and it might be empty. And then the next thing you know,
there's tons of people.
Yeah, it's like,
yep.
What? Did they open some doors or what? Yep. Where did they all come from?
I know. Go into a shop, it's empty. Next thing you turn around, it's like 50 people. Yep. Yeah.
Well, you're a higher vibrating being, and that feels good, and it's an attraction.
Mm-hmm.
I get asked all the time, what do you got that I don't have? I say gratitude. What are you doing that I'm not doing? I'm grateful. I look at everything as contrast. Everything is here. I'm here to learn the lessons. whatever these lessons show up as. But the more I'm in gratitude, I'm sailing on an ocean of glass. And the less I'm in gratitude, then I'm in rough seas.
Mm.
And it didn't take me long to figure that one out.
Yeah.
So I just started being grateful for everything. The more that shows up, I'm grateful for it. The more this happens or that happens, I'm grateful for it. And I'll say out loud, thank you for bringing that. I see the lesson in that. Thank you. I had a judgment I needed to get rid of.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't send it again. Thank you, but we don't need a repeat.
Yeah. It's simple, though, isn't it? It's just...
Yeah, it really is.
It's
really literally, is. Can I unlearn the crap that's been given to me and get this one simple concept? The more I learn to react in gratitude, the easier the lessons are to go through.
Yeah.
I still get lessons, but they don't affect me like they used to. I don't get chaotic and crazy when things go to hell in a handbasket. I just ask. I say, thank you. Show me the lesson in this. And then the lesson shows up and I can say, okay, thank you for this lesson. I won't have to repeat that one. So literally, walking around in a state of gratitude is the best tool that you can find to use. And it's literally on you to train yourself to find it.
There you go.
You're the computer operator. The vessel is the computer. It's an organic computer. You're the vessel operator. So what are you holding on to that's making you react and judge so much? And when you pinpoint that, you let that one go, and then you get the next one and the next one and the next one. It's always a spiral to go up, and aspects of all of these lessons will show up as you're moving into that higher spiral. Nothing moves in a straight line. That's the greatest gift. Nothing moves in a straight line. I'm going to learn my lesson. I'm going to spiral up, and I'll get a different iteration of something that was in that lesson, but it's not the same thing. And I'll move through that one and just keep spiraling up. I don't have to judge it. Whether the earth's round or flat, I don't have to judge it. I don't care.
Right.
It's got nothing to do with the realm that I'm playing in. It's got nothing to do with it. How do I make this space where I am, that I interact with daily, minute by minute by minute? How do I make this a better space for everything? Okay, I've got 2 hands and 2 feet and a brain. I can do this. The more I plant things, seeds, the more life I give, it's rewarding. I'm not only bringing new life, diversity to the desert, I'm assisting in new life to take over and make it green instead of all of this hostile landscape. And if you think about the world as a hostile landscape, well, how can I make my little piece of it better? I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I don't have to act in hostility. I'm grateful that I don't have to make judgments. I'm grateful that these wild cats come down here and let me rub on them. I'm grateful for all kinds of stuff.
Well, there is a lot to be grateful for, right? I mean, we're just coming up to Thanksgiving. I mean, that's it is. It's like there's a lot, to be grateful for. That can help.
But I have Thanksgiving every day.
Right.
I look at it this way, and this is what's been proven to me. Literally, when I lay down to go to sleep and I close my eyes and I lose myself of this conscious world, I die.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
My consciousness dies to this world. The body needs rest. Consciousness doesn't. And it goes off and does what it needs to do to set up the next days or weeks' lessons. Well, if you're brave enough, you'll take a nap. Then you're waking up twice in the same day. You've literally died twice in the same day. This is how I see it. It may not be correct, but this is how I see it. This is how I interact with it. And it proves to be the most beneficial thing that I can play with, looking at it like this. My consciousness may be going to another world fighting battles I don't know about, because I wake up, my body's still sore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Me
know.
too.
Yeah.
So I get up and move, because that's the greatest thing for pain and stiffness, is just to get up and move. Because you've laid down for a little while and the water inside you has grown stagnant, because everything about the vessel slows down. So I got to get up and bring it back up to speed.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a hard concept. It's overthought and too many words used about it, but it's not a hard concept. And it's literally, how can I train myself to be more grateful? You make it a habit to say thank you. That's your reaction to anything. Thank you. Whether you say it out loud or not, thank you. That's my reaction to anything.
Sounds like a good reaction.
Yeah. Yeah, right? It sounds like worth a try, you know? It's worth the doing.
All
it
I'm
saves...
doing in my reaction is reinforcing my place of gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to jump to fear. I don't have to jump to surprise. I don't have to jump to anything but thank you. And then in that little short pause, your emotionary system does a reset, and it says, wait a minute, this is new and different. And the more you can get to there and do that, then your emotions won't be involved in your decision making.
Which is very beneficial. You know, like really.
You can avoid a lot of things by just saying thank you.
Yes.
Especially in a confrontation.
Avoid...
Thank you.
Oh, I got stories about that too. I've been at gas stations pulling and fuel up, and somebody come get in my face wanting me to get a fist fight and all of that good stuff. And I'm like, thank you. And this guy was belligerent, red in the face, screaming at the top of his lungs. And I looked him square in the eyes and I said, thank you. I know what to do with that. Now you can go home and hug your wife and not kick your dog, and you'll be in a better place. And I put my stuff away and drove off. And he was still standing there scratching his head when I went away. I robbed the power of that anger and frustration. I stole it.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew what to do with it. I don't have to react to hostility in a hostile manner.
Right.
That don't mean I won't put a bullet in you if you put your hands on me, but I'll do it with a smile on my face.
And then you can say thank you. Yes. But it's the truth, right? Like, just staying like in that place, you know, you become untouchable in a sense, not in a bad way.
Well, you don't let the thing is your emotions don't get out of whack.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest part.
Right.
How much energy is wasted processing emotions.
A lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
Mm-hmm.
And if I react in a hostile manner, I'm going to get more of that because that's an attraction point. They
Mm-hmm.
don't call them emotions for no reasons. Think
There you
about
go.
that one, you know.
Yeah,
Mhm.
can you go and talk to the politicians now? And like just
Well,
like
the liars and the corruption is going to meet its end.
mm-hmm.
It's just going to take a little bit for it to play out because there are those out there right now in this world that we're all sharing that are just violently opposed to anything beneficial for humankind.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Just saying. So you got to wonder what kind of trauma that they're living under, and it's unresolved, and they won't even look at it.
There's a lot
Because
of them.
we've been a world of trauma for a long time,
Indeed. Yeah.
and it's most of it is unresolved trauma. Do I have all my trauma resolved? Probably not, but if it shows up, I'm getting on it.
Yeah, you're no hiding for it.
I'm not hiding from me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to put a mask on to step out into the world. What you see is what you get. I don't change from place to place for human I'm talking to, nothing. I don't change. I am me, unapologetically me. And sometimes I use foul language and sometimes I catch myself, but, you know, screaming fuck at the top of your lungs sometimes is a wonderful thing.
Yes, it is.
But it's all about getting me under control because that's all I can control in this.
Right.
Yeah,
Literally,
isn't that the
it's
holy
all I can
truth?
control in this.
Yeah, and how we react to everything. Yep.
If we
Yeah.
just wouldn't
Well,
have so many emotional attachments to different things, we'd be a lot better off.
Yeah.
Well, I've been dead enough times to know that anything that's here that I'm playing with, the only thing that I can carry with me is the gratitude in my heart.
Yeah. I don't think
And the last time I died, I didn't have much of that. But let me go today. I'm grateful. I'm going to go to another place and play. I may be reincarnated into another vessel in 5 minutes. I have no clue.
Mm-hmm.
But until I learn all the lessons that are needed to be learned, we'll all recycle through a world like this where polarity and duality are the mainstays. Because you can't have one without the other.
I think I've recycled enough through this world.
You know, so, and that when the moment you start treating this like a game, it all changes.
I have a hard time with that one, seeing it as a game. But I know I understand what you're saying. I do.
If you watch a funny video, you're going to laugh at it.
Mm-hmm.
And farts are funny, and people hurting themselves. I don't know why it's funny, but it's funny because I call them stupid human tricks, and we all do them.
Mm-hmm.
We all do them. It's part of the learning game. Every one of us, when we learned to walk, busted our ass more than once. We've bumped our heads, we've done this, and we've done that. Just learning to walk. And then you start adding the rest of it in. And too many have bought things that don't make sense because that's the way the institutions are creating it.
Mm-hmm.
And the best way to change you is to speak to you, because that's how you learned it, was repeating it. Repetition is the key to all hypnotism. Repetition is the key to all hypnotism. Repetition of all words is how you get hypnotized.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about it, we're all walking around in a state of hypnosis.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and in a trance all day long. Yep.
And you're going from one trance state to another trance state. Well, once you step out of that trance, then you start finding appreciation for everything that's around you.
Everything brightens when you let yourself actually be here. Everything brightens.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not thinking about tomorrow. I'm not thinking about what I did last hour or this thing I've been, whatever, it's right now.
We're coming up on a break. You've been listening to Revolution Radio, Life in the Hologram. And we'll be back after these short messages. Don't go away.